No, it's okay. No, but that's not your fault. This was.
It's not.
Yeah, this is for. Why are you irritating Annie?
Because Annie just doesn't. Annie can't get herself together.
Now, one thing you should go here, not there. This is YouTube going broadcasting.
Okay.
Go here.
Go.
This.
Oh, down to there.
Yeah, YouTube is going on.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Trika's already said good morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi, She.
Hi, Anila.
I hope you're all well.
Thank you.
Oh.
No need. No need. Sorry, I forgot. This one. I'm trying to using microphone, which is not necessary here. We are very close, so you can hear my voice, right? I don't think you have a problem hearing my voice. So everybody can hear properly, right? No problem to hearing. Okay, so prayer to Manjushri. Lama Dangumbo Jambo Yang Lan Chanzo Yalan Lo Gangi Londrin Dimyen Jindra Nidra Nanda Rabza Jinyen Dengen Jijin Sijir Niji Tugara Lekbam Zen Kanda Sitbe Chandara Mari Mendum Dunga Jizerve Jozo Kunla Puchi Tanzi Yenla Juju Yondem Zon Dukdara Jedro Nyemo nyelo leje jandro roze. Mare menze donga nyugo jinye junze radin. Denen dajin saji tarzen yenden lizo jase tuwe. Judan judan chunyin jende dale menze jambe yanla de mara pazana de mara pazana Umara pazana de mara 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 pazana de Ara pazana deo mara 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 Umara pazana de zeden jiji chenra zre dale demo membara zane kadan denje junglo tobai loje bobe na wan Hello, Jinji Jija Beja Jindu Dima Meva Lango Vera Dote De, Gozango Baji Mibone Jan, the Jinja Zujo, Shivan and Sarakam Jetu to Jiji Sotim Branzetu, Amija Zanto Mimum Gesal Timbe Nonash, Timbeze and Dumbar Vendu can make in the Zijur to Jidama Kuneshu and Jitensum Jikonjabe, Tuambe Mokarbe Shabe, Rindale in Zorojo, Jendolim Bemendo Bozere, Jayanam Duranjin and Jindo, Tindu Beje and the Jumbarvi. Pema Junen Dalu Yinzuru Kumbulu Dwariya Devatan Tome Nyenjolan Chijita Chujun Jana Nibozo Zanin Jenjo Nanjida Ejo Kari Degarin Jimbe Guru Dengun Junga Vishazardu Nimbi Denzi Bebe Nanjarba Monjin Ramjam Jajenda Ejo Riton Jamba Shuna Jinale Bumbilon Lepo Peter Jidro Londo Jensen Jansema Wanjur Evam Jambi Anji Daejo Angidala Riba Lobadan Doji Tinjimenga Nalazo Lobazada Umbrishinabe Rigi Tinjena Menda Ejo Namonguru Chinyimba Mendanji Shetala Kunjaran Juntu Chimbetin Jigala Kamendanawa Ulden Lami Jajinda Ejo Vile Sanje Gandanya Naya Kadin Sanje Kunela Begun Savi Lami Chola Suande Zondo Velamna Chola Jur Ondo Juju Dongi Jidena Dejela Vanjiba Kanzoda Jindirnambe Chuji Charbebe Simbar Devan Dadandir Jeshi Namoria Dambal Haigetan Lodan Jinge Dum Dadame Genamda Wagum Jetanam Jisambar Tamji Gedu Susur Tujurji Majurndo Ananka Danyam Besamjin Tamji Jitendo Tanjuzimbi Jobalan Juba Tini Sushindo Sene, Yamsulang Joa Namdo, Samba Chanju, Juba Tanchi, the sense houses. So, for the sake of motherly sentient beings, that I'm going to listening this Mahayana scripture composed by Shantideva, the way of Bodhisattva's life. And then I will going to implement it with that kind of preparation or motivations and listening this teaching. And also the conduct or the manner while listening Dhamma teaching. Also we need to prepare in this way that listen carefully in an excellent way and try to hold it. And then the actual teaching, the way of Bodhisattva's life, which have this 10 chapter, 4 main theme. And we are in the 6th chapter of 2nd theme, which is how to maintain properly this Bodhisattva's vow without letting transgress. transgress. So, not to let the transgress, what we need is the sense of carefulness and vigilant and introspection, and then the patience. So among this, the first two as we completed, and today we are here studying the how to practice the patience. And then within that how to practice patience, then it is introduced mainly in a stanza 11th of the 6th chapter that introduce the situations and the circumstances when we becoming short temper and when we become the agitations or anger, and what are the circumstances triggers our this anger emotions. And then it is introducing mainly 24 circumstances. So the 24 circumstances also can summarize into mainly 4 circumstances, which is kind of like the pain, and when we face difficulties or suffering or pain, that's the one pain. Sometimes they translated pain, sometimes suffering, sometimes difficulties, whatsoever we use the word. But when someone create the difficulties to oneself, and that time we become short-tempered and we lost our patience. And then we generate this emotion of anger. As well as when someone create the humiliations, that time as well. And then insulting, when someone insulting to oneself. And then when someone creating rebuke to oneself. So mainly that all this 24 is mainly into this 4. Now this 4, and when it occurs to oneself, how to deal with this anger emotion and how to practice patience, and already described it. Mainly by these 3 key points, that practice the patience of undertaking the suffering, and then the patience of certainty in Dharma, and then the patience of not caring about harmers. And that's mainly with that pain or someone when who create suffering or difficulties to oneself, and how to deal with this anger emotion, mainly these 3 points. Then each of those 3 points has many different skills within each of them, Shantideva, that we discussed already. And then when someone create this humiliation, insult, and rebuke, so these are not really physical harm. This is some sort of like a mental harm. So through words, through verbals, like a mentally, just mental disturbance, these are. So, and during those times, and how to deal with, and such as that one very general example. This is not just Shantideva, also many. I think this is kind of like a human idea that we used to say, wood doesn't have a arrow. Wood doesn't have a very sharp. Wood doesn't have a sharp arrow, or what do you call it that? Point. Yeah, wood doesn't have a sharp arrow point, so it cannot penetrate your mind. So why you are why you are making big deal out of it, or why you are kind of like making this so big? So that kind of idea is we have saying in a human, right? So this is also, Shantideva also provided these skills here in this teachings, how to deal with those another 3 circumstances. And then next, Shantideva also introduced this, how to deal with those four circumstances when occurs to one's relative, one's parent, mother, father, and then one's the siblings, friends, relatives, and boyfriend, girlfriend, including all these things, spouse, okay, spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, when any of those four circumstances or the four situations occurs to one's own particular side or the relatives, in short, relatives, means could include whole your family, your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend, friend, and everybody who you like can include within that. When any of these four circumstances happens to them during that time, how to deal with it. That same, those three ideas, again applying here, how we control our emotions when it occurs to oneself. This same idea. And then plus, Shantideva also provided some other methods as well. And then after this, and then reversely now, these four circumstances reversely means now pleasant, praise, compliment, and what? Pleasant, praise, compliment, and degraded, something you say? Adulation. Oh, this word is not staying in my mind. Adulation. Okay, adulation. So, compliment is adulation. So adulation and compliment not different. Yeah, so, okay, let me try to describe directly in how it says in Tibetan, right? Tibetan, okay, suffering. Suffering opposite is happy, right? So happy. When our enemy get happy by enemy, him or herself, or someone provided happy, then we get short temper. That's one thing, happy. Suffering, reverse, happy. And then disdain or humiliations. That opposite is something kind of like he get what do you call it? Nyepa. And then not getting disdain. Actually, yeah, just it is very simple. Not getting disdain. Okay? Not getting disdain. When our enemy didn't get any disdain or humiliations from others, and at that time we also feel a little uncomfortable. We may feel sometimes it is very unfair, right? It is very unfair. He's very lucky he didn't get any disdains or humiliations from any others. We jealous, kind of like. We jealous, right? And then that jealous will going to triggers our anger as well. And then the harsh word opposite is kind of like a praise. Praise. When our enemy gets praise, we get short temper, we get anger too. And then, how to say, minyemba, the unpleasant word, the hearing unpleasant word. Hearing unpleasant word or message, bad news. The opposite is hearing pleasant word or good news. That when our enemy, they get good news, we become angry. Yes, right? Normally, we human beings are like that. So these are four reverse. If This is something I'm, without depending on this translation, I'm just saying, okay? This translation, then we saying here, pleasant praise, the compliment, or adulation. Either we say this one, or happy, not getting disdain, and the praise, and then what do you call it? The pleasant, hearing pleasant word. Okay, so this four reverse. And when any of those four circumstances, when it occurs, or when somebody created this, any of those four circumstances to the person who I dislike, at that time, I becoming short-tempered. I'm getting anger, right? At that time, I get anger. So during that kind of situations, how to deal with the anger. And then this is the main point here, that talking from this page, the stanza 76 to 86, almost 11 stanza. And mainly this is what it is talking about. And then the Shantideva, within this Shantideva providing 4 different methods or the skills and how to deal with the anger emotions when any of this occur to the person who I dislike. So the first skill is, the first and second skills are very logic, or kind of like a not really religious background, no need really religious background or something. Which is that first skill that Shantideva provided us is this, that when this stanza 76, when others take delight in giving praise to those endowed with the talents, why, O mind, do you not find a joy likewise in praising them? The pleasure that gained therefrom from itself gives rise to blameless happiness, and it's urged on us by all the holy ones, and is the perfect way of winning others or conveniencing others, and then transforming your dislike persons to like person, enemy to friend, right? Yesterday, I forgot to tell you one important thing regards with this stanza, this 2 stanza. Here they translated talent, right? When others take delight in giving praise to those endowed with a talent. Now I have this doubt here. When it says talent, is it only goes towards positive, or any kind of, as long as the person is so good at it, good at doing that activities? Normally, I think this talent doesn't have a positive and negative, right? It goes to everything. For instance, if you are very kind of like good at drinking alcohol, maybe they will say this person is talented in drinking alcohol, right? That's why I said here, I forgot to clarify with this two stanza here. They translated talent, but in Tibetan, we don't have that. Tibetan, we have what we have. Shenji yönten dendena. Yönten is only goes to positive. Yönten means the good characteristic, the quality. Directly, when we translate yönten, quality. Quality means, I don't know, quality. Does quality only goes to the positive? Highly likely. Never says, right? So the quality always goes with the positive. Then it's right. Here, rather than talent, quality here. That when others take delight in giving praise to those endowed with the qualities rather than talents. Okay? Or is giving praise to those endowed with the good characteristic. Then why, O mind, do you not find a joy likewise at present then? This is important. I forgot to clarify that yesterday, right? When I today look this again, here they just say talent. And then talent can go. Let's say, if you are very good in cheating, you are very talented to cheat. Or you are very talented to deceive others. Or you are very talented to do business, right? Or you are very talented to kind of like a farm. Or you are very talented to fix your enemy. Or you are, this is normally in world mundane, we consider as a talent, isn't it? It's talent, right? If you are very good at taming your enemy, fix your enemy, oh, this guy is so talented. We praise in this way, right? And then when someone prays in this way and then enjoying, oh, no, that's not right way to enjoy after. That's not becoming the next stanza, what it's saying. The pleasure that is gained therefrom itself give raise blameless happy. No, this is not blameless happy. This is with the blame happiness. That I want to make clear. Okay, so this is something I just want to make here. According to the mundane, nowadays we can see, right? We praise to those who are very good in business and who are very good in kind of like cheating or deceiving others, and who are very good in taming the kind of like fixing their enemy, right? Fixed, or I will fix you. That they used to say that, right? I'll fix you. If you know very well how to fix, your talent, we consider as a talent in the mundane. This is now Shantideva not talking about here. Here in Tibetan we say Shenji Yuan Den Den Tenas. When someone praising on their qualities or their good characteristic, okay, and then by praising in their good characteristic or their quality, they enjoying, if they gaining this joy, then you also praise them based on their good characteristic or quality. And then why don't you enjoy together with them? That's what Shantideva said. Okay, this is very important that I didn't clarify it yesterday. Then maybe sometimes we may assume, oh, any kind of praise, if someone enjoying, I should enjoy, there's nothing wrong. This is not that. This is something, it is that the pleasure that is gained therefrom, it is itself give rise a blameless happy. That's not blameless happy. One thing. And then also it's urged on us by all the holy ones, not that one either. Okay, that's not be allowed. That's not kind of like a permitted by those our respected great teachers. No, they didn't give us permit like that. In word, yes, that army who kill many other army, then when they come to the country, everybody praise that, huh? And then give some title, status, honor. That's not the case that we should enjoy together. Likewise, many things. Some people who are very talented in gambling, Then some friend, they praising, right? Oh, you know, he knows very well how to play gambling. That's not right object to rejoice and happy with it. And likewise, kind of like someone very good in the kind of like cheating with one's own spouse, right? Boyfriend, girlfriend. And then that person who have very good talented to cheat, deceive their spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, and their friend praising them, right? Oh, you know, he or she is very smart to deceive their own boyfriend or girlfriend or spouse. We mundane sometimes praise in a wrong circumstances. Many, not one or two, okay, many. And those all are not including here. That we need to differentiate here. Here, only talking about this when someone prays to others good characteristic and then they feeling joy by it. Then same way, you can also praise them and you can also enjoy like them. That's what Shanideva means. If you doing that, and this is blameless, happy, you can gain. And this is also kind of like allowed or permitted by our respected teacher. They won't say anything to you if you enjoy in that way. As well as that's the best method, supreme method to convenience or transform that our enemy to our friend. But according to mundane, even those which is unpraisable by praising it, third one, you can still gain it. Okay? Third one, you can still gain it because you can make that person as your friend by praising that way. Nowadays, yes, many, even tiny, small. Let's give an example. Even though sometimes we are so making up too much polite. And then even though some people who not really dress nice, and we say, oh, you dress very nice. Praise. Right? By praising in this way, yes, I can transfer his mind to close to me. And he or she will like, oh, Tugu told me this dress is very nice. And then he or she will going to start liking me. Right? I can convince that by this way of praising. That normally we do, right? Sometimes makeups are not really proper, but you're beautiful, you're very nice makeup, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so praising in this way, the third one, you can gain it. But second one and first one is no. So therefore, it's not right object to rejoice and be happy with it. That I want to make clear. Okay, so this is the one skill or the method Shantideva gave us here, right? Gave us here that saying when someone provided or created any of those four circumstances, starting from pleasure or happy to adulation or providing the pleasant word, saying pleasant word, saying pleasant word. Those four, okay? When it occurs to my enemy, how should I deal with emotion? This way. This is one skill. And then another second one. And then third skill is, as I told you yesterday, based on assuming you are Mahayana practitioner, Bodhisattva practitioner. Yes, actually here, all this, mainly why it is provided is to maintain your Bodhisattva vow. And when you get short-tempered anger, then you lost your Bodhisattva's vow. You lost your Bodhicitta. So mainly all this for Bodhicitta, as well as this all methods are also very much needed in our day-to-day life, even though you are not Mahayana practitioner, or even though I am not Mahayana practitioner. But still, all these skills are very much needed in our day-to-day life. Okay, so third one is that. And then now today we are here in this fourth idea, let's say fourth idea, which is the stanza 84, isn't it? Stanza 84. Still it is talking about when from this any of those four circumstances occur to happen to one's own enemy, at that time how to deal with the emotion and how to practice patience, okay? So listen based on that concept. Then you will going to understand all this meaning related with it. Kalte dede la nye tam jinda kimna ne gyurpa kundu techo la mena jinma jinrung techi sha danam dani tebam rangi yonden chichir dor nyebar gyurpa mizinpa gangi troa mije me Kyoni rangi digjela nyangen mebar maseji sonam cheba shendada lenjing drembar che de dams. This three stanza. That if someone else receives a gift, or if that gift stay in the benefactor's house, in either case, will it be yours? Will it be yours? No, right? So, given to that person or withheld, without giving, withheld by the benefactor's house. Why is it your concern? This is very tricky here. This is such a very wonderful idea to how to control this, our emotion. Right? When someone, let's say this giving, when someone gives something gift to my enemy, or others, particularly enemy, okay, enemy. And then that gift makes my enemy happy, which I don't like, right? And then now here Shantideva let us think, and whether that someone giving the gift to my enemy, whether it is gift to my enemy or held it in someone's his own. Either way, right? Either way, either case. Will it be yours? 100% no. Whether that someone gives to your enemy or keep it by himself. Either way, it is not going to becoming mine. So that someone gives to my enemy or without giving, holding by himself. Why is it your concern? Why you are concerning, worrying? No need, no point to worry and concern there. Either that someone gift or not gift. Anyway, that gift will never going to become yours. That one thing. And not just that. Jinma jirun techi shas. Here in Tibetan, what it is saying, whether someone that gift to my enemy or not gift, regardless, it doesn't any benefit to me. It doesn't benefit anything to me. So for me, if you really think careful, for me, this is nothing. It is very equal, same, that the fact, actually, it is very the same that when some stranger gives some gift to a stranger, at that moment, we don't care, right? We don't have any feeling, right? But that same action, when it happens to one's enemy, my enemy, then I have problem. The fact, actually, if we really think, contemplate properly, this is very same as the other action that some strangers giving gift to some strangers. Very similar. And then from the the getting perspective, either they gift or not gift, I'm not going to get anyway. This gift is not for me at all. So what it's saying, there's a no point for me to get mad by that circumstances, by that. But normally we do get problem. We do become short-tempered when that kind of things happen. And what Shantideva was really saying indirectly, and becoming short-tempered and getting emotion and anger by it is silly. That's what he means now, indirectly. Because whether that my enemy gets that gift or not, it's nothing to do with me. It's nothing to do with me. Therefore, worrying in this way, it's silly. That's what it is saying. Okay, Jinma Jirun Techi Chas. And now, not just that. And then when someone else receive a gift, or if that gift stayed in the benefactor's house, in neither case will it be yours. No. So given or withheld, why is it your concern? There's no need to concern. But let's say we concern that. We become short-tempered. We becoming emotional when this kind of situations happen. And then we get mad and anger and generate hatred. When we generate all this emotion, hatred, anger, then what that action does is all your merit and the faith of others, all your sterling qualities, why throw them all away? Yes, that one action of getting hated when this kind of circumstances happens, and getting anger, it's ruining my marriage. Absolutely. You need to remember this, how Shantideva already taught this in the first stanza of this chapter. What's the fault of getting anger? Shantideva already said, right? It will going to destroy the merit which is accumulated by generosity and so on. Eons and eons, by instantly getting anger will going to destroy completely. So this is what it means. all your merits. Merit will going to be thrown away. Why throw them all away, right? If you get anger, you are throwing away. You are throwing all your merit away by getting anger at that moment. Likewise, the faith of others, they translated this others. I don't think there's others in Tibetan. Yeah, there no need others. I don't know why this is others. The faith or the joy or the happy or the admirations. When we generate the anger at the same time, we cannot really admire. We kind of like lost our this sense of admiration, faith, as well as sterling qualities. So the quality means the patient itself. Someone sleeping, huh? Very, that actually I know that this is so enjoyable. And sleeping in a puja time, and then sleeping in a teaching time, and then this while listening all this dharma, this, and then also these books are very they kind of like a sleeping pill. makes us very good sleep when we read this kind of book. So he's very good, he or she, I don't know. Anyway, so that's very enjoyable. I know that, I have that experience. Anyway, so yes, it will going to ruin my merit, and then it will going to ruin my faith or the admirations, sense of admiration, and it will going to ruin my patience as well. The patience is the one greatest quality, isn't it? All your sterling qualities, mainly from patience. This patience is the quality, right? And then from patience and so on, many other we will going to lose qualities, such as we will going to lose loving kindness, compassion at that time. When we get anger to someone, at the same time, we cannot get compassion, right? At the same time, we cannot generate the loving kindness, right? At the same time, we cannot generate the equanimity. At the same time, we cannot generate the joy. All those four immeasurables will going to be mass, will going to be throw them all away. And then including here, mainly patient quality. When you getting short temper or anger, when someone provides happy to my enemy, at that time, that anger actions ruin my merit for sure. And then ruin my admiration, sense of admiration for sure, as well as many other qualities. Such mainly the patient quality will going to be ruined or throw away. So that's why it is saying, why throw them all away? So letting us think that by agreeing to that circumstances will going to ruin many my qualities, such as all this. It will going to ruin my merit, not just the merit of the past, but also present. All my quality will going to be also ruined, also messing up. That situation, angry, will not going to let us practice the patience. Then I'm losing the most important one, right? As Shantideva, how it says, there's no worse non-virtuous than anger. But on the other hand, there's no greatest austerity than patient, or quality than patient among the quality. The patient is the considering as the most greatest quality among the quality, right? Yeah, there are many different type of people, right? Some people, they are very good in generosity, but they are very not good in morality, not good in patience, not good in diligent, and so on. But someone very good in discipline, but not good in generosity, not good in patience. And maybe someone very good in patience, but not really self-discipline, not really generosity. There are people, many type of people. And all gathering quality of this kind of all in one person, it's rare. But still, normally when we check, yeah, if the person has whole complete quality, perfect, absolutely, 100%. That's 100%, right? That's perfect. But that kind of person, it's very rare. Then what we need to understand is between the quality and fault, which one is more? And then according to that, we can differentiate this is a good person or a bad person. Or if it is half-half, then so-so person. And more bad quality, then yeah, bad person. Like a 80% bad and 20% good, then that person will going to categorize into the bad person. So anyway, so like that, there are many different type of person, okay? It is just like that. Some people good in this, but not in that. Some people good in two, but not in third one. Some people good in all of three, perfect. Anyway, so the point here is, yes, during that circumstance, situations, if I get anger to that circumstances, then that will going to destroy my merit in the past, whatever I have accumulated. And then the sense of admirations from oneself, or that faith, it's also we can call like that someone who have admiration on me, someone who have faith on me. This my attitude will going to just destroy that faith, destroy that admirations. Let's say normally some, let's say like a what do you call a dorje. Okay, let's say dorje normally used to have a faith on me, or kind of like a admiration on me. And then when dorje saw me this attitude that I'm becoming short-tempered and getting anger when someone gift a gift to my enemy, then dorje may losing faith and admiring to me. Okay, this is from both sides we can understand. And then styling, what is the styling actually here? Sterling qualities.
Sterling silver, which means pure.
Pure, okay. Styling qualities, yes. So the styling quality, what we will going to lose or throw them all away is patient, directly patient. And then indirectly, many other qualities we will going to throw at that moment. Such as I told you, all those four immeasurable, we will going to throw them all away. And then at that time, maybe even though I am very generous normally, maybe at that time, that sense I will going to lose too, right? So many, all once your This translation is your. Rather than your, better to say mine. Or actually in Tibetan, I told you always saying this. There's a no word yours much. Here, actually in Tibetan has mine. Why I am throwing away my quality in Tibetan actually, not yours. The wrong translation, this one. All my sterling qualities, why throw them all away? Okay? All my merit and the faith from others, faith of others. Actually, the other no needed here. Faith. All my sterling quality, why throw them all away? That way better. So getting anger towards that circumstances will going to make this problem. So think this all carefully and then control your emotion, anger towards that kind of circumstances. So on the other hand, okay, if I practice patience, not holding on to what might bring you riches. Tell me, why are you not angry at yourself? So I don't really get it, this one. Not holding on to what might bring you riches. Riches.
If you throw your sterling qualities away, then you're throwing away the means of holding on to your riches.
No, this is not talking about this one here. That's what I'm saying. That, okay, on the one hand, if you lost your patience and you get anger, then what it does, it's ruin merit, faith, and then sterling qualities, right? This is on the one hand. And when that kind of circumstances, if you able to not get anger and if you're able to practice patience, then what you can gain is so much merit. So why you are not gaining that merit? That's what Shantidev was saying. Why you are not holding that opportunity? And not being able to hold that opportunity is my own problem. So better to get anger to myself. That's what it means. Why are you not angered at yourself? Myself. Myself. That's better. That's what it is saying. So think all this way. On the one hand, you're losing many things. On the other hand, this is bringing the opportunity to gain so much merit. And why you are not holding or grasping that opportunity? When I am unable to grasp or hold that opportunity, isn't it now I should get anger to myself rather than to the others? That's what it means. And then continuously next, not only do you feel no sorrow for the evils you have done, you even wish to match yourself with those whose merit has been earned. By getting short temper and anger during those circumstances, it's something you are how to say, you are doing so many evil things, right? You are doing so many evil things. For the evils you have done, that's how they translate it, okay? This is, okay, let me tell you here. By doing that, which means getting short temper and getting anger with that circumstances, you now here really have you in Tibetan letter too. You engaging into evil activities that you need to understand. And then even though involving or engaging into evil activities, you're supposed to get, how to say, you're supposed to get what? You're supposed to get grief. Yes, you're supposed to get grief yourself. Nyangin. That actually you're supposed to become grief, right? Become grief or get grief. Become or get. You should be grief. Okay, maybe you should be grief. You should be griefful. And instead of being grief, by getting short temper and anger on so on, will you really trying to kind of like compare or challenge with those who have been doing great merit? Means the indirectly what it's saying, completely not. It is not a good idea for you to compare and challenge with them. Rather, you should feel yourself grief by engaging into evil actions. By getting short temper and angry with those circumstances when someone else gives a gift to my enemy or others in general, particularly the enemy. At that time, getting anger itself is I am engaging into very great evil actions. Very bad, okay, not great, very bad. The great also used in a positive way. Great normally used in a positive way. And very bad action. Great evil, okay. So the great. So that last, this idea or the method, when any of those four occurs to my enemy, generally all when it occurs to others, particularly to my enemy, when any this time, and how to control your emotion by thinking in this way. The firstly, whether that someone else provided or not provided, it is not for me anyway. One thing. And then by getting anger with that kind of circumstances, actually it is ruin my merit. And it is dispelling the faith from others to me and admirations. And then as well as it is also destroying my many qualities, such as patience and so on. And then by doing so, that I am actually engaging into very great evil actions. I supposed to be grieved by it. And rather than being grieved, do you really want to compare and challenge with the other's merit? No. Chandra was saying, no, forget it. This is not your responsibility. This is not my responsibility. That's what he's saying. Anyway, so this is another skills or methods to let us think and control our emotion when this kind of circumstances happen. Okay, with that we complete it. We complete what we complete when this reverses of suffer is happy, from happy to not getting disdain and praise and how to say pleasant word, hearing pleasant word. When any of those four occurs or happens to my enemy, generally others and particularly my enemy or the person who I dislike, at that time, how to control our emotions. This is the method provided. And now from here, this stanza 78, no, not 70, 87. I'm reading reverse. 87 and 88 and 89. This three stanza, what it is talking about is that in Tibetan, the how to practice patience when someone dispelled or remove unwanting to foe or enemy. You understand now? Unwanting. Am I really translating this properly, this Tibetan to English? This is my translation, okay? How to practice patience when someone dispelled or remove unwanting to foe. Unwanting to fall. See?
Wanting to fall. I understand it, but it doesn't, it actually, if I said that to somebody out on the street, they wouldn't understand.
You want to understand, yeah. So this is maybe my translation problem. Yeah.
So, but I understand it and I can't get my mind to work. So,
this is, yeah.
Getting angry when somebody removes the unhappiness.
Of, yes, unhappiness of my enemy.
Yes.
When someone help and support and then dispel or removed unhappiness, it is unhappiness then becomes one, unwanted. Yes. Unwanted circumstances. Yes. When, how to practice patience when someone remove unwanted circumstances to my fall. To my fall, right? To my fall, or to the person who I dislike. So this three stanza, and how to say, try to listen based on this concept, this three stanza. Okay, and then this three stanza Shantideva was trying to give us some skills or methods that how to deal with our emotion while having these circumstances to my fall. Means my foe getting some support and help by someone and removing unwanting things. Okay. So what is the skills that Shantideva was providing here? Now, this is very important, okay? This is quite often happening among us. Even within a family, within a sibling, this problem is there. But this problem is so hard to recognize. And this problem, normally we don't assume is my problem. Many people, we assume by doing this, it's not my problem. I didn't do anything. They think that way. Okay, first let's go and then we'll see how this is very happening often, constantly to us day-to-day life. Even within a family, within a sibling, brothers, sisters, this kind of problem is also there. And then also especially like the Dharma brothers, sisters, that in those centers, Dharma centers, where various people coming, different background, right? And among them, this situation has happened quite often. And then at the same time, they don't assume or understand, recognize that this is something problem. Now Shantideva here introducing this is something we need to control. Okay, let's look how he is saying it. Kalde ndashik migana tela kyogar chishik yus. Choji yimen zamjini tela nupi gyurmi gyurush. The first, this is idea. This idea is related with the second idea too. Here, within this 3 stanza, I think Shantideva provided 2 different skills. But both of those 2 is not really different. It is related each other. But the first, what he led us to think and control our anger emotion in this way, that if unhappiness befalls your enemies, why should this be cause for your rejoicing? You see? The wishes of your mind alone will not in fact contrive their injury. Think this way and don't get rejoice. Don't rejoice after. That's in short. This is the one method. Skills. What this stanza saying is that if my enemy, when my enemy become unhappy or get some, now this is something we need to look to, that the what do you call it? Those 4 things: pain, humiliation, insult, and rebuke. Okay, when any of those 4 things happen or occur to my enemy, and then my enemy will going to become unhappy, right? My enemy becomes very unhappy. And at that situations, why you are enjoying? The fact you shouldn't enjoy, that's what he meant. Because this, any of those 4 circumstances happening to the enemy, not because, how to say, just by my wish will not going to create any of this problem to my enemy. First thing. That your just wishes will not going to become the condition for him to get harmed, get disturbed by any of these 4 circumstances. Which means, in short, what it is saying, even though when my enemy become unhappy, there's not really point for me to become happy. Because just my wishing or the wishing of getting him trouble is not the condition that he's getting trouble or harm. First, this one. This is a little light, right? Light idea. And then the next continues goes, Chuji debe dungalde drubna chogarchishiyos. And then now, and if your hostile wishes were to bring them harm, again, what cause of joy is there to you? Either way, why then I would be satisfied? Are this your thoughts? Is anything more ruinous than that? Ruinous? Ruinous than that. Ruin, right? Ruin. Ruinous than that. Next two stanza can go together. Kalte tsengbar gyurshena tele pungbang shenchi nyomo nyape tabai chilbatini mise se tesung semyal pumbaryang nyalwi sume da tse nges. The 89 stanza, caught upon the hook, unbearable and sharp, cast by the fisherman, my own defilements, I will be flung into. Flung means throw, okay. Flung into the cauldrons of the pit. Of the pit? What is pit?
It is used to describe hell.
Hell, okay, pit.
Fiery hell.
And surely boiled by all the janitors of hell.
Very poetic.
So you see this 88 and 89. And if your hostile wishes were to bring them harm, again, what cause of joy is that to you? Why then I would be satisfied? Why then I would be satisfied? Are these your thoughts? Is anything more ruinous than that? Caught upon the hook, unbearable and sharp, cast by the fisherman, my own defilements, I will be flung into the cauldrons of the pit and surely boiled by all the janitors of hell. Okay, so here this is very important point. We must understand carefully here. Let me explain this meaning. I don't know. First, what Shantideva says, this 87 stanza, that even though my enemy become unhappy, such there's no reason for myself to be happy, because just my wishing is not the conditions for them to get harm. First of all, that one. And then next, it's saying, let's assume that, oh, how you wished it, according to your wish it, they got harm. They become unhappy. Dubnang chogarchishir. And then on the other hand, so first one, in the one hand, what it is saying, your wishes is not the condition for my enemy to get harm at all. So your wish do nothing. So why you being so happy by it? Don't think that you wished it, therefore he get harm. Therefore, I am happy. No, that's not because of you. That's not because of your wishes. You don't need to get happy out by it. You don't need to get happy of getting my enemy harmed or unhappy, become unhappy. First hand. On the other hand, if I say that I wish that, I want him to suffer. Therefore, now he suffered. I'm happy. And that is also the not right to rejoice or become happy. On the other hand, when we say that, and we will going to respond, this is exactly, Shantideva himself is responding one after another. And then we will going to respond in this way, definitely. If I say, I will definitely become happy because it makes me satisfied. Yeah, normally we'll say that. You very be careful. That's what I'm saying this. This kind of satisfaction, people will not going to really talk from their mouth. But in their mind, they feel satisfied by seeing that. They feel happy or satisfied by seeing that the other person who I dislike getting harmed by someone. And I feel joy, happy. But, and again, during that kind of situations, and we make up and we show again the, how to say, what do you call it? Fake mercy. Oh, you get hurt. Oh, I feel so bad. Oh, you may get well soon. But inside is completely different. This is what it's talking about now. And then at that time, the fake polite, again here, pretending that I'm very sad, but actually I'm very happy inside because you get harm, which I wish, isn't it? Think carefully. And this kind of things happening even within a family, within a brother, sister. I'm really serious, yes. Within a brother, sister. Within a spouse, husband, wife. Within a boyfriend, girlfriend. And then within friend, relatives. Oh, relatives, big problem, this one. I know this. I saw myself many things like this. Inside is something and outside something else. Let me tell you one very funny thing, which is I saw by my eyes myself in my life when I was 18 years old. Okay? And my aunt, son, same ages as me, he is also 18 years old. He accident and died in back home in India. Bike accident, hit by government bus. He passed away, unfortunately. And then I visited at that time. I was studying in Namdoling Shedra at that time. And then when I heard this news, and then I visited. And I visit their home and to see his father and mother who is my aunt. And then I don't know what to say at that time. Then I just sit there. Many people are coming, visiting. And then his father, at that moment, his father was away, not at home. And then I saw his father is coming from the gate inside. And then many people gathered, right? And then he immediately doubts something very big problem happened. And then he immediately starts shouting, what happened? What happened? What happened? And then some few people, including my aunt, cried. And then he doesn't know very well at that time what is going on. And then he cried himself. And then he said, what happened? Tell me. And then eventually they told about it. And that's how, this is a very difficult moment. Yeah, I'm just sitting there and watching all this going on. Okay, the point here, what I'm making here is, at that time, one relative, funny thing is that time, one relative, I saw they coming from very far away. They talking, laughing, and coming, walking towards this home. I saw they talking and laughing. And then as soon as they get close to the gate of this house, and then they start crying. Ooh, come inside. Look, that's what I'm saying. Even within a relatives, this happens. Actually, they don't have anything sad feeling by this loss of young boy. But they need to pretend, right? They need to pretend in front of this, his parent, father and mother. My, what do you call her? Auntie and auntie's husband, uncle. In front of them, they need to pretend they are feeling sad. Actually, inside, nothing. No sad. You see? That in a mundane, this kind of drama is so many there. They make up. I don't know what to say. Anyway, and this kind of problem is also happening in communities, everywhere communities. I know that. And then also to the Buddhist community too, the centers like here. We don't have to look far, okay? We don't have to look far. Just look at our own center. Among us, that who are coming here, together we practicing. Also this problem. Inside, thinking something, and out expression, showing something else. The fake face, pretend face, and pretend word. Okay, so the main point here, what Shantideva was saying, first hand, this is something not getting unhappy or suffer to your enemy because of your wish. Your wish is not the condition for them to get harm. So therefore, you don't have to get so excited by it. You don't have to rejoice. be happy out of it. One hand, first hand. And then on the other hand, from the other perspective, even though he get unhappy, he got suffer according to your wishes, still it is not worth and right to be happy and rejoice. And then on the third hand, we will going to say, what we will going to say? Yes, I should become happy because it makes me satisfied. I will rejoice because it makes me satisfied. If you say so, this is what it means. Kalte tsing bar yurshenas. Tsing is satisfied. It's made me satisfied. You see, this is normally we don't really consider as a problem. Why? One thing is because that the person who I dislike become unhappy and get suffer from someone else. I am not the person who created this suffer to him or her, right? Therefore, I don't feel this is my problem. I don't feel this is something problem. I'm just feeling happy out of it. I didn't do nothing. I just feel happy out of it. That's what we assuming normally. But what Shantideva said here, Dele Pumbang Shenji, how they translated this one, this word, I think they translated proper, I think. Is anything more ruinous than that? Here, this action becomes equal to I created. When I feel rejoice, satisfied and rejoice. When someone get harmed, get suffer, become unhappy. If I rejoice after this, satisfied after this, then the person who ever created problem to this person and same demerit, I am going to get it too. And this is the way, third way to involve into the actions. Do you remember what Shakyamuni Buddha said? I always remember in this. Even the last time when we do this Sagadawa Duchen, I said it, right? Shakyamuni Buddha, in this 35 Bodhisattva confession, 35 Buddha confession, in that sutra, Shakyamuni Buddha very clear mentioned, we can engage into meritorious activity or demeritorious activity, virtuous or non-virtuous action. In a 3 ways always, not only 1 way, 3 ways. The first way is doing by ourselves. And second way is ordering or requesting someone to do it for me. And third way is rejoicing. You understand now this? What it becomes? Third one, rejoice. Rejoice means it becomes equal to you done. You did it. We normally, in mundane, according to the normally worldly concept, we don't think this is something I did it. And then even someone blame, you can say easily, why are you blaming on me? I didn't do anything. What's wrong with you? right? But according to the spiritual, according to the, yes, spiritual, then yes, by rejoicing or getting satisfied out of it, it's the one way to involving in that action. So by rejoicing after this, when someone gets harmed, and rejoicing and being satisfied for satisfying by it, it becomes the third way of involving into actions, which is rejoice. And then whoever out of anger created problem to my enemy, I rejoice after it. Means it that whoever out of anger created problem, it's also belong to me. You see? Because I rejoiced it. Not only the positive side, okay? It also goes with the negative side too. Positive side, yes. When someone out of compassion, provides support and make others happy. If I rejoice, and then whatever the merit that someone out of compassion provides support and make others happy, that same merit, I will going to get it, right? By just simply doing nothing rather than just rejoicing. In the same way, in the negative side also I will going to get if I rejoice after. Someone out of anger created problem to my enemy, or enemy is okay, enemy, absolutely. And then even any kind of person, generally any kind of person, particularly enemy. And then now when we say enemy, disliked person, it's better, I think. Like and dislike, we change very instant. Today I like this person, tomorrow I dislike this person. And normally we don't consider this as an enemy, right? Enemy means something very, oh, there's no way for me to like that person at all. That kind of person we consider enemy, maybe. I don't know what concept is there after this word of enemy. But like and dislike, maybe it's more better here to use. And even sometimes we change our dislike and dislike morning to afternoon because of others persons behave sometimes. The way they talk, we immediately dislike by one word, and we immediately like that person by one word either. And then sometimes this one word make me dislike to that person, and then immediately after that someone create problem to this person, and then I feel happy, I feel joy, right? Oh yes, that he deserved, he or she deserved that, she needed this. We have this very strong habit, okay? This is exactly here Shanti they were talking about now. And by doing so, normally we don't thinking this is problem, this is my mistake. We don't assume this is my mistake, right? But when we think, contemplate carefully, how it makes me involved into it. Therefore, this Shantideva was saying here, is anything more ruin than that? For normal concept, for the worldly concept, what is ruin? There's nothing to ruin. I didn't did anything. We say that, right? But that rejoice action will going to ruin so many things. one thing, kind of like one thing, the consequences of that action I have to face. That could come even within this life, not necessarily to wait next life or death. Rejoicing in this way, and then immediately, maybe tomorrow or maybe this evening, someone creating problem to me, and then someone is being happy out of it. That instant karma could become instant karma too. Therefore, it's ruin. And then, out of these actions, the consequences could also become this, how Shantideva described in that next stanza, the 89th stanza. Nyomonya beta by chilbadine mizese, the sung semyal pumbaria, nyavisume tatse. And the consequences of the action of rejoicing after another's suffer, unhappy, could lead myself or flung into the cordons of the pit and surely boiled by all the janitors of hell. Because how, why? As I told you already, we don't get angry at that time. We just feel joy, right? But we need to face the consequences of getting anger, because we rejoice after the actions which is created out of anger by someone. Therefore, I have to bear the consequences of anger. Then, among the three poisoned, the anger is the worst demerit or non-virtuous, which is direct, exact cause of hell. That's what Shantideva mean here, okay? So this is very careful, okay? This stanza here, this, not the first one, the 87 one, on this 88 and 89, you may memorize this two stanza. This is very good stanza to contemplate, because this situations is happening many times in our day-to-day lives, not just one or two, even within a day. Sometimes we do this 10, 20 times within a day, uncautiously. Within a family, within a brother, sisters, I told you, right? Within a relatives, within a community, and within a Buddhist community like this. So therefore, memorize this word, and then may remember this occasionally, time to time. I should pay attention to not let myself to involve into this kind of actions. This is very important and very subtle, that it is very hard to recognize. Normally we doing it, and then at the same time, we are not thinking even this is a problem. This is my mistake. We don't think that at all. You see that how the Shantideva introduced us, this is the mistake. So contemplate and think that way, and then control our emotions by not letting rejoicing and satisfying after someone who I dislike getting harm or unhappy. Never rejoice, regardless who that are. Never feel satisfied. Feeling satisfying and rejoicing after it, you are involved. I am involved. That satisfaction and rejoicing makes me involved in that particular negative action. That's how Shakyamuni Buddha described this in a Bodhisattva confession, right? We confessed all those kind of actions too. Shakyamuni Buddha included, right? Either we did, or either I did it myself, or I asked someone to do it, or I rejoice after them. All this kind of negativity, any of these three ways I involve, I will going to confess in front of this 35 Buddha. And then on the same way, meritorious too. Either I did it myself, or I request someone to do it, or I rejoice after someone's doing it. All those merit we can dedicate as well. That is also where our earning. Both are our earning, okay? Okay, so today maybe we just stop here. And this is, I told you this, maybe just memorize these two stanza 88 and stanza 89. Which is unconsciously happening a lot. Myself too. I have this kind of problem. Sometimes I may rejoice and be satisfied of it. So we need to pay attention towards this kind of actions. And rejoicing and being satisfying and rejoicing after that also transgress our bodhisattva's vow. You see? Generally, it pull us into the negative actions. Particularly, satisfying in this way or rejoicing in this way will going to transgress our bodhisattva's vow too. So these kind of things also we need to pay attention. Okay, so we just stop here. And then if you have question, we can discuss a little bit. Actually, it is already 1. But if you have question, you can raise, you can unmute yourself and then say, talk. Okay, seems like no question. Then good. Then we dedicate and take a rest. Oe Sonam de Tamje Zigbani Tomne Nyeben Danam Pamje Ne Shega Nanche Walan Chubai Sibin Solendo Ando Warashu Jambal Pawe Jitar Kembadam Kundu Sambo Teyan Teshinte Teda Quinjin Jesun Dalochi Gewan Deda Tamje Rabdungu Gewan Di Shewokun Sunam Yeshe Tozo Ne, Sunam Yeshe Lechonwe, Tamba Kunyin Tobarasho, Sanje Kusum Yepe Chinlavdan, Chunyi Minjur Dembe Chinlavdan, Gendin Meche Dembe Chinlavdi, Jidra Moa Melam Jabarasho. By this beneficial activity, may I obtain omniscience, and having vanquished the harmful enemies, greed, anger, delusion, may I liberate all being tossed about helplessly by the waves of birth, aging, illness, and death in the ocean of becoming. By conforming to the knowledge of courageous Manjushri, Jambalyang, and in the same way as Samandabhadra, Kundusambo, and following their example, I dedicate perfectly all this virtue. By this virtue, may all being perfectly achieve the accumulation of merit, sonam, and wisdom, yeshe. May they thereafter obtain the two holy bodies, which result from this true accumulation. By the blessing of the Buddha, Sanjay, who obtained the three bodies, by the blessing of the immutable truth of the Dharmada, Chuni, by the blessing of the infallible aspirations of the Sangha, Gendun, may this prayer of dedication be accomplished just as it is. Thank you. Have a good day. See you later.